Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Alli's Book Nook. I am starting this channel as a way to share with you my love for books and my journey through reading. So I do have another YouTube channel. It's called Alli's Amazing Scents, and that channel primarily focuses on home fragrance and particularly Scentsy, because I am an independent Scentsy consultant. But I started doing these book videos on my other channel, Allie's Amazing Scents, probably about 6 months ago. But I wanted to try making a channel specifically devoted to books and reading and all of that, because I felt like this is just probably a better platform, a better place for people to come specifically to talk about books and reading, where my other channel has a different focus. So for this video, I just wanted to introduce myself, talk a little bit about what I expect for this channel and this journey, and share with you what I've been reading so far this year. So I love reading. I first fell in love with reading when I was like 17, and I just devoured books when I first found that love. But as I got into my 20s, my early 30s, I most of the time had a book going, but I just didn't have the time. I had too much stuff going on with work and life and family and everything. So I only recently got back into reading, probably the end of last year, 2023. And now we're in June. And ever since then, I have really been getting back into it and just remembering why I first fell in love with reading to begin with. Yeah, I'm going to share with you guys what I've read so far this year, and what I rated each of these books on Goodreads. I do obviously use physical books as a platform. I also do some e-reading and audiobooks. Audiobooks have been a great help in helping me to get through a book, because I can read it physically, but when I'm busy doing other stuff in life, like, dishes, laundry, driving, then I can still listen to the audiobook. I'm mostly I basically listen to all my audiobooks now through Libby, which is a free app through my library. I think most libraries have free digital apps, and I would highly encourage you to check out what your library has, because Libby has been a great resource for me. And I do have Kindle Unlimited as a free trial. I'm not sure if I'll keep that. I'm trying to get through the books that I have, and as I read them, if I don't love them, I am going to start destashing them to make sure that I have room for more books, and that my shelves are really full with books that truly give me joy. I did join a book club the end of last year, which is something I always wanted to do through my local library. So let's see here. Recently, since I got back into reading, I've really been into thrillers. So you'll see a lot of these books on this list are thrillers. So Goodreads, they let you go on and rate books, shelf books, all that, 1 to 5 stars, and you can set goals. So I set a goal for 50 books this year. At first I thought I was going to do like 12, but I did 50, and I never thought I would make it, but I'm actually right on track. I'm at 29 so far this year. I'm currently reading my 30th, so pretty much right on track. I don't know that these are all in the exact order that I read them. Also, like I said, Goodreads is 1 to 5 stars, and so if I gave it a half star and I remember that, I will say that here. But yeah, so the first one on here is The Couple Next Door by Sherry Lapina. I gave that 4 stars. I've read a couple of her books and I have really enjoyed them. That one is a thriller. The next one, I'm sorry if I'm just like reading my tablet here, but yeah, the next one is Then She Was Gone. That is by Lisa Jewell. That's a thriller, and I gave that 3 stars on Goodreads, but I think I gave it 3.5 stars in the video where I reviewed it. The next one is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I gave that 4 stars. That is more of like a coming of age novel. It does have a mystery element to it. I don't know that I would call it a thriller, but that book is loved by many, and I did enjoy that. Next one is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It is by Suzanne Collins. I gave that 4 stars. That is a prequel of the Hunger Games. Hunger Games is kind of what got me back into reading at the end of last year because I had never read any of them. So I really enjoyed that. And then the next one is also what I feel like really got me into reading, and really got me into reading thrillers. One of the first books I read this year is The Maid's Diary by Lawrence Ann White, and I gave that 5 stars. That book was amazing. I highly recommend that. Great plot twists. Those last 2 books were both recommended by aunts of mine, Where the Crawdads Sing and The Maid's Diary. The next one, The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I did not like that, and I gave that 2 stars. The next book was from my book club, and that was The Good Lord Bird by James McBride. That I gave that 3 stars. That was a historical fiction about John Brown, who was an abolitionist. And I did learn quite a bit reading that. That's what I like about the book club. I don't always necessarily like the books, but they're books that I wouldn't probably pick out on my own. The next book I read, well, on the list is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I gave that 5 stars. It was a great book. I'm actually currently reading the 3rd Frida Housemaid book, which is The Housemaid is Watching. That just came out yesterday. But anyway, Housemaid, I gave 5 stars. Then after that, I went and read The Housemaid's Secret. That's the 2nd book in the series, and I gave that 4 stars, maybe 4.5, but 4 stars on Goodreads. So like I said, there's 3 of those: Housemaid, Housemaid's Secret, and then the new one that just came out is The Housemaid is Watching. Okay, so then Hidden Pictures by Jason Rikulik. Probably not saying that right. I gave that 5 stars. Really enjoyed that one. That's one that you want to read either ebook or physical versus audiobook because there is pictures in there. That's a thriller. I gave that 5 stars. I'm not as stingy with my ratings as I used to be. I used to never give 5 stars, but then I thought, you know, it doesn't have to be the best written book. It's how much did I enjoy it while I was reading it. And so, yeah, that got 5 stars for me. And then the next one is Never Lie by Frida McFadden. That's another thriller, and that got 5 stars. The next one I have on here is The Death of Mrs. Westway by Ruth Ware. I gave that 4 stars. I actually just finished that recently, and I really enjoyed that. That was my 2nd Ruth Ware book that I've read, and the first one I read was Cabin in the Wood, in a Dark, Dark Wood, which was her debut novel, and I didn't really like that, but I did really like The Death of Miss Westway, and I will be reading more of her books. Next one on here is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. That is a thriller, and I gave that 4 stars on here. I might have given it 4.5 in real life. I really enjoyed that one. I really did. That was my first Riley Sager book, and so far I've read 2 of his. That was my favorite, but I do plan on reading more, and he has a new one coming out soon. Next one is Empire Falls by Richard Russo. I gave that 2 stars, maybe 2.5. That was for my book club, and that is just kind of a novel set in a small town that is from different perspectives of people that live in the town. Yeah, so not my favorite, but I mean, I didn't mind it. The next one is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I gave that 4 stars. That is a thriller, even though she traditionally writes, like, I think romance novels, but that was a thriller and that was good. That's the only book of hers I've read. Next one is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I gave that 4 stars. Another thriller. And I've read 2 of her books so far, but I liked them both. But yeah, that was pretty good. Next one is And There He Kept Her by Joshua Moline. I gave that 3 stars, possibly 3.5. That was his debut novel, There and There He Kept Her by Joshua Moling, and I liked it. It was kind of a good break from like intense thrillers. It was more of a mystery, like detective mystery, I guess, small town Minnesota. And he has another book that takes place in that town with the same small town cop, but just like a different plot. So I do plan on reading that at some point, probably this year, but that was good. The next one is The Breakdown by B.A. Paris. I gave that 3 stars. I think I gave it 3.5. That's a good one if you like an unreliable narrator type situation. I listened to one of her other books. Can't think of it. The really famous one of hers, Behind Closed Doors, a while ago, but I don't really remember it other than I liked it. But I did like The Breakdown. Next one is People of the Books by Geraldine Brooks. That was for book club. I did like that one. I gave it 3 stars, but I think I actually gave it 3.5, and that is a historical fiction book. The next one is An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. That one I did not like as much as A Couple Next Door. I gave that 3 stars. It was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. That's a thriller. Next one is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. The other book of his that I read, I gave that 4 stars. That's a good book if you like a summer camp setting. And that was a thriller. The next one I read is Ask for Andrea by Nicole W. Ely, I think is how you say it. 5 stars, great book. Kind of a different perspective in the way the story's told. Highly recommend it. I really enjoyed that. I think I said this, but that's a thriller. The next one I read is The Circle by Dave Eggers. 3 stars. That was more of a sci-fi kind of dystopian book, I guess. More sci-fi, but it was just the main character really frustrated me. So I gave that 3 stars, and I think I will be destashing that book. The next one I read is No Exit by Taylor Adams. 5 stars. Amazing book. I read that book on a road trip to Colorado, and it takes place in a rest stop in Colorado. It was great, and I do plan on reading more of his books. I actually ordered one that I haven't read yet. The next one is No, I Don't Want to Join a Book Club, Diary of a 60th Year by Virginia Ironside. I didn't like that one really. 2 stars. That was for my book club, and it was kind of that dry British humor kind of thing. Next one I read is The Neighbor by Joseph Souza. 2 stars. That was a thriller that started out strong, and I thought it was going to be like a solid 4-star, but it just took such a dive that I had to give it 2 stars. The next one is False Witness by Karen Slaughter. I gave that 3 stars. That's a thriller. That is her first book of hers I read. I do plan on reading more, but it was a little bit drawn out. So that's why I gave it 3 stars. The next one is The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. 3 stars on that. Thriller. Not that all that exciting. Oh, got a little drawn out. But I do plan on reading more of her books. And then that was her debut novel. And then the next one is the most recent one I just finished, The Stillwater Girls by Minka Kent. 5 stars. Really enjoyed that one. I guess you would call that one a thriller. But it is more character based, and it was just, I really enjoyed that one. So 5 stars. So that is a quick and dirty rundown of what I've read so far this year. I do more in-depth reviews of these books after I read them, normally about monthly. So I have some older videos on my other channel if you want to go check that out, Alli's Amazing Sense. But from here on out, I plan on doing all my book reviews, all my book chats with you guys here on this channel, Alli's Book Nook. And I do have a review coming up of what I've been reading in the last month or so. I'm excited to have this dedicated channel to share this journey with you guys and interact with you and talk about books and get recommendations, all the good stuff. So thank you so much. If you think this sounds interesting, please consider subscribing to my channel and commenting, and I would love to get to know you. Thank you so much, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye.